What's up, everybody? It's Jared with Capture the Magic, and Epic Universe has been in the news quite a bit lately, especially on this channel, as lots of feedback and data is coming in about Epic Universe. As we know about the Orange County tax revenues have hit another all-time high after the third month of Epic Universe being open, and with only 1 month on the books, Universal noted in their previous quarterly earnings report that they had a 20% increase in revenue, most of that credited to Epic Universe, even after just a week and a half of that park officially being open. And of course, lots of rumors and speculation, much of it coming from Mark Woodbury about future things coming to Epic Universe. And we have some more accolades that are coming Epic Universe's way, as they were able to grab some theme park awards. So we're going to talk about all the awards that Epic Universe was able to win this year. So we have an article here from Universal Parks Today that's talking about this. So Epic Universe unseats Rise of the Resistance for Best Dark Ride. Plus, they won 4 other awards, and also Volcano Bay won an award as well. It says Universal Epic Universe dominated the 2025 Golden Ticket Awards, knocking Star Wars Rise of the Resistance out of the Best Dark Ride spot. Plus, Universal Volcano Bay was named the Best Water Park. I would agree. I'm not a huge water park person, and I also contend that Volcano Bay is not a theme park, and Mark Woodbury agrees with me, but it is a fantastic water park. It is the best water park I've ever been to. And so even somebody who isn't really big on water parks, I do enjoy Volcano Bay quite a bit. The Golden Ticket Awards by Amusement Today shine a spotlight on the amusement park industry and attractions by recognizing the best of the best. There were 22 categories in the 2025 awards, and Epic Universe earned 4 wins, plus plenty of runner-up positions. Tim Baldwin, Golden Ticket Awards communications coordinator, said, quote, "It was Universal's year unquestionably. There was so much build-up to this park's opening, dating back before the pandemic, and they pulled it off. The awards alone demonstrate that Universal really delivered the goods." So the best new roller coaster went to Stardust Racers. It says Stardust Racers, built by Mack Rides. I know some people say Mock, but I'm an American, so Mack Rides. That's, I remember Return of the Mack. That's how I'm going to say it, at least. And as Amusement Today stated, it, quote, bedazzled by Universal Creative. The magazine said that this mesmerizing attraction features racing trains that intertwine in fascinating ways. Add in the cool factor with night lighting, and Stardust Racers is a masterpiece in Universal's portfolio. I mean, when it comes to Stardust Racers, like I said, I'm not a big coaster person, so I have not ridden this myself. And before anybody goes at me in the comments, I know what I like, and I'm okay with it. I'm not a big coaster person. I don't feel like I have to prove anything. So it's fine. I enjoy my time in theme parks without riding crazy roller coasters. That's just me, though. Say whatever you want. I really don't care. But I do know a lot of coaster people, and all of them rave about it, including my wife. She said it is probably right up there with Velocicoaster. And I think you're talking about Universal being a roller coaster theme park, having Velocicoaster, Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, and Stardust Racers in your lineup is definitely a plus as well. And I suppose some people talk about the Incredible Hulk, although I've heard a lot of people talk about it. It's gotten very rough over the years, even though that one was recently redone with the track. But obviously, Stardust Racers doesn't surprise me one bit, especially given the unique nature of this ride being a dual coaster. And really at night, this entire park shines, but at night it is really cool to see this coaster running with, there's no lighting on this outside of the coasters themselves, lighting up on the trains where it just looks like comets are going across the sky. So not only does it seem to be a great ride, it also has a very good aesthetic to the park at night and fits very well. So I'm not surprised to see that at all. And then the best new attraction installation goes to Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. I don't know what best new attraction installation is technically. That's an interesting category. The flagship Wizarding World attraction at Epic Universe earned best new attraction installation. Amusement Today said this, quote, "One-of-a-kind attraction dazzles from the moment guests step into the queue. Inside, the theming is immersive, and the ride system almost defies description." I would agree with all of that. I mean, this ride has its issues, as any new ride is going to, but when you first walk into that queue, I can't say I've ever experienced anything like that in terms of the scale, the immersion, and that's just when you're in the queue area. The ride itself is fantastic. Like I said, it's to me, it's the best ride in Epic Universe. Monsters Unchained is right there. This is a great ride. I'm sure they probably spent about $1 billion or more on this ride. It's a very ambitious ride, and very much like Rise of the Resistance. It was very similar. When you ride Rise of the Resistance over at Hollywood Studios, the first time you ride that, you're just thinking, how in the world did they do all this? Like, it's like you're in a movie scene. Now, I can say I don't like the fact that it's sequel trilogy, but it's still a it's an accomplishment of what they are able to do there. And personally speaking, I think Ministry of Magic goes above and beyond what even Rise of the Resistance was able to do. So I enjoy the one-upping of attractions, but yeah, I completely agree with all the descriptions there. Also at Epic Universe, Stardust Racers and Constellation Carousel were two of the finalists in this category. Amusement today said of Stardust Racers, the graceful and fluid layout is accented by beauty and ever so cool details, while the carousel is undeniably breathtaking and serves as an iconic centerpiece to the park. I mean, the fact that a carousel was in this category is an accomplishment on its own. I mean, I never would have said a carousel would be in that category, but by far the best carousel I've ever been on. If you think that carousels are all the same, it is quite different when you ride Constellation Carousel. I would highly recommend doing it at night. And I think it's much more sort of like when you're on the animals that you're riding on the carousel, it's much more like they're dancing. It's almost like a dance platform, but it's a great ride. It's kind of wild that a carousel got nominated for that. Best new theme concept in general goes to Dark Universe. This category was introduced last year to acknowledge new ideas regardless of budget. The Universal Monsters themed area of Epic Universe took home the gold. Pete Carcillo, Senior Creative Director at Universal Creative, said Universal's earliest blockbusters were the classic monster films, and to be able to continue that legacy has truly been an epic experience. The village of Darkmoor within Dark Universe is the place where the stories of Universal monsters come together and come to life, and our guests can actively be a part of it. Amusement today said the, quote, themed execution of this spooky village of Darkmoor brings this eerie concept to life. It's going to sound like a broken record, but yeah, I completely agree. Dark Universe, I can't say I was looking forward to this land that much before, when they announced it. I was like, it's a bunch of old movie properties. Like, I'm not really into monsters or horror movies, but it is a great land. I think they're definitely going to expand it. It's a smaller land, but in terms of the originality of it, the things they did in there, the concept of it, and just the immersion when you walk in, there's really nothing else like it, especially at night. I would highly recommend checking this out at night. And really kudos to them because they did take a chance on doing this. I mean, I don't think anybody was thinking doing an entire land based off of Universal monsters was just a given it was going to be a hit. Like, I think anybody at the time, I know if you're a Monsters fan, you probably were happy about it, but it was a risk to do it. So they were very ambitious in doing it. And I think from everything I've heard, the people that were involved in bringing this land to life absolutely love the monster franchises. And that passion for it just really came through in it. And I'm actually really excited to see the future things they will do here. And I'm actually somewhat interested, like if they do monster movies into the future or things like that, it does have me kind of interested in that. And then second place in that category went to Minecart Madness, which is cool. I mean, I love Minecart Madness. It's not the greatest coaster ever, but it is unique how that arm sits on there and it's like you're jumping over the track. Best dark ride went to Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. And of course, this beat out Rise of the Resistance, which had won 2 years in a row. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's an extension of course, Dark Universe, but the animatronics in here are insane when you see them in person. And this is one of the best theme park attractions ever built. And it's also a champ of this park, given there are wait time issues at Epic Universe, but this moves tons of people through it. It's not uncommon to see, 30-minute waits on here or sometimes lower. And it's not because of a lack of demand. They've already moved 1 million people through this ride, and that was last month. So this thing moves a lot of people through it. The immersion here, the storytelling, it's basically Forbidden Journey over in Wizarding World Hogsmeade on steroids. It's a great ride. It really is. And really, I'm excited to see future rides they do with this technology potentially. And I'm really glad to see that it did win because it is quite the achievement. And I think it's a fantastic ride. In this same category, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry took second place. So knocking Star Wars: Rise of the Resistance down to third. Ooh, Disney doesn't like to hear that, I'm sure.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
And then Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for the Sunken Treasure at Shanghai Disneyland was fourth place. And then Best Water Park was Volcano Bay. Everybody knows about Volcano Bay probably. It says, we're thrilled that Universal Volcano Bay has been recognized as the best water park and is the first new winner in this category in 25 years, said Lisa Hall, Senior Director and General Manager. So I think clearly Volcano Bay is the best water park, but it's just not a theme park. Anyways, I digress. So there were some more notable awards. The best new family attraction did not go to anything at Epic Universe, but they did have 3 out of the 4 runner-ups. Harry Potter Battle at the Ministry, Monsters Unchained, and Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. Hiccup's Wing Gliders in the Isle of Burke earned second place for Best Family Coaster. Amusement Today said the ride, quote, received universal, this is no pun intended, praise for its ride experience. Dollywood won first place for the third year with Big Bear Mountain. I haven't ridden Big Bear Mountain, so I can't speak to it, but I do love Hiccup's Wing Gliders. It is one of my favorite rides in the entire park, and I think in many ways it's underrated, but I think it is starting to get a lot more praise for how good of a ride that is. Because the same company that made Hagrid's also made this one, and I think I've always called this ride, since it was basically announced, like Baby Hagrid's, which I think essentially is what that is. Best Kids Area also went to Dollywood, but Epic Universe got third place for Super Nintendo World. When it comes to the top 50 steel roller coasters, Velocicoaster came in number 2 in the list. Stardust Racers joined that list at number 17, followed by Disney's Guardians of the Galaxy at 18, and Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure was number 23, and number 1 was once again Fury 325 at Carowinds. I don't know anything about that ride, nor have I ridden it, so I can't speak to it, but definitely seems you've got some Orlando coasters in the mix there. Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry secured second place for the Best New Innovation, and Minecart Madness was third place for its sidearm design, making guests look like they're actually jumping broken tracks. And the number 1 spot went to Mack Ride's Rocking Boat. And then Epic Universe was actually second place for Best Park after Europa Park. And Busch Gardens Williamsburg reclaimed the top spot for Most Beautiful Park, and Tokyo Disney Sea took 5th place. Epic Universe already making some splashes with awards here, and I'm sure Disney is not happy to see that Rise of the Resistance got pushed down due to Monsters Unchained here. But so I think undoubtedly when you're talking about Epic Universe, this park is already making a splash. It's going to continue to improve, and you can already see the bones of this park is already getting awards. It's already having a massive impact for Universal. It's already having a positive impact for the Orlando economy, and it's only going to continue to gain strength in the coming years. So I'm sure Universal is very happy to hear about this as they continue to get this park, as Mark Woodbury said, at full throttle. That seems to be the main focus of the company right now. But when you're talking about Epic Universe, I actually think you could be talking about the best opening of a brand new park potentially ever. I mean, most new parks opening, it does not go well. Now, this is the first park on this level that is open during the social media era. So, of course, there's going to be lots of critical analysis, instant feedback, people complaining. I mean, if you go to Twitter X, all you're basically going to see is people complaining, which is why I don't go on there very much. But, you know, you can easily point out the things at this park in its current state, you know, the weaknesses of it. But again, it is only going to improve. This park is going to be around for decades, and all these early struggles here are going to be forgotten, much like Disneyland. Disneyland did not open to rave reviews. Even the concrete was not fully set. People were sinking into the concrete there. You look at Hollywood Studios when that opened, I think it had like 3 things to do. You know, you can say the same thing about Animal Kingdom. Did not have a lot of things to do. I would argue still doesn't have a lot of things to do. I know some people are going to say that it's a full day park. I've never agreed with that, but to each their own.
What did you say?
But I think if you look at this objectively, obviously the bones of this park are great. The immersion here is great. The theming, the rides they've built here are getting accolades, and obviously people have enjoyed them, which is why you have high wait times. You wouldn't have high wait times here if people didn't want to go to this park and check out these rides. So I think obviously the future is very bright for Epic Universe, as well as even right now we're seeing the positive returns, positive feedback in many ways about Epic, even after being open for just 3 months. So I'm sure Universal's happy about this. I'm sure Disney's probably not too happy about this, although they did have some rides that were in contention for a few things. But all in all, when you're talking about the Golden Ticket Awards, Epic Universe got 4 of them, runners up in quite a few categories, and then Volcano Bay was able to get the best water park in the world here. And we'll see what it looks like next year and what else they do with Epic Universe. I'm very excited to see. So even in the early period here with Epic Universe, as it works through its issues, you are seeing some positive things come out of this in terms of awards, of course, here, revenue for Universal, the Orlando economy in general. And I think, of course, when you're talking about Epic Universe and Universal, the future is very bright here. Obviously, I think it's hard to come away from this saying that it's not that case there. But either way, that's going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about Epic Universe winning 4 awards and Volcano Bay being voted the best water park in the world? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.